I'm back again with chapter 2 on women who run with wolves. Hi, this is Nobby, and I hate doing this, but I know I need to. I hope I don't get emotional. I've been feeling very nervous and dreading this moment because it's really heavy work that I do, and I have to dig into myself to come out with a lot of this stuff. So here goes. The Chamber of Bones. Every culture has a story about a door you're told not to open. In Women Who Run with Wolves, we have the tale of Bluebeard. A wealthy man with a strange beard marries a young woman. He gives her the keys to his home, but warns her, one door must stay locked. At first, she obeys. She tries to be the good wife, quiet, compliant, not asking questions, but curiosity doesn't rest. It keeps pressing, whispering. One day she unlocks the door, and inside she finds a room of bones. And all these are murdered wives that came before her. She drops the key and begins to bleed. No matter how hard she tries, she can't clean it. The blood keeps dripping. And then when Bluebeard returns, he sees the stain and he moves to kill her. And it's only when, with the help of her sisters, that she escapes and Bluebeard is destroyed. It's a very grisly tale, but Estés tells us it's not horror, but rather it's initiation. Now, let's look at the predator outside and inside. Bluebeard isn't only a man, he's an archetype, the predator of the psyche. Sometimes he's outside of us, an abusive partner, a culture that demands silence, a system that punishes curiosity, but more often he's inside us. He's the voice that whispers, stay quiet, don't look, don't trust yourself. And that inner predator is dangerous because it sounds like us. It borrows our voice. It tells us survival means silence. And naming him is the first act of survival. We also are very naive as women, and it's not our fault. It's our human nature. We are quick to hand over our keys too quickly. We trust appearances, but naivety must give way to knowing. That's the story of initiation. The wife doesn't open the door right away. She waits. She holds back. How many of us do the same? We hear the whisper, but we press it down. We suppress it. We smile, we carry on, we tell ourselves, not yet, but the whisper doesn't go away. It grows until one day you can't pretend anymore. The sisters in the story are what save the young wife. And it's not only her courage to look, but when the sisters came, when Bluebeard was closing in, they are not just characters in a fairy tale, they are parts of us. One sister is intuition, the one who says, look closer. Another one is memory, the one who reminds us of who we were before we were silenced. The other one is the watchful one. She sees the details that we want to miss. And the others are the inner voice that refuse to be quiet. And when we let them speak, they help us to survive. So those are the sisters that came in to help her. The bleeding keys symbolism is the wound of knowing. Once you know something, once you've opened the door, you can't unsee it. You now know what's inside. You can try to clean it. You can try to hide it. You can try to deny it, but the stain remains. And that's where the paradox is. That very stain is proof. Proof you were right to question. Proof you were right to notice. Proof you were right to open the door. When I reflect on this, when I first read this story, it shook me because I knew what it was to hand over my keys, to obey the rules of silence, to feel the whisper, hear something's wrong, but push it down, suppress myself. I carried my own forbidden room for years. I told myself to keep the peace, not to look, not to know. But when I finally opened the door, I couldn't go back. And the key dripped with blood. The truth stained everything. My work, the way I saw my children, even the way I looked at myself. Something in me died in that moment. The naive self who thought silence was survival, but something else was born. A woman who now knows that she can trust her instinct. And now I stalk the intruder. This chapter is called Stalking the Intruder. That's the work now. Once you've seen the predator, you can't return to blindness. You have to stalk him, to notice him early, to catch him before he devours you. And I've learned Bluebeard isn't only in men, he's in culture, in systems, in me, in the voice inside my head that says, don't be too much. My work is now to see him, name him, and refuse him power. As I reflect on this, I ask myself, I know Bluebeard will always live where women silence themselves, but he dies in the moment you open the door, the moment you name what you see. And that is the initiation that I've gone through. That is my freedom. So I'll ask you, what's the door in your life that you've been told not to open? What key burns in your hand? And will you turn it, even if it reveals a truth you've been told not to see? Because the truth is not your destruction, it's your proof. It's your initiation, your way back to your wild self. And as women, a quick, simple story around this is, checking your husband's phone or having a hunch of something that's not right and being taught to not look. Like they say, if you go up the mountain, you'll find the monkeys, and you'd rather not find those monkeys or whatever, right? But have you ever stopped for a second to understand that sometimes you need to find those monkeys because your freedom lies on the other side? And for as long as you're not looking for those monkeys, you are silencing yourself and you're growing your own monkeys inside of you. I'm so happy that I did this and I did not become emotional. So I think my healing is really good. I'm happy. This is something that's shocking me right now. So you're seeing this in real time. Yeah. Thank you.